Welcome to part 6. It's titled Fixing the Browser's Back and Forward Buttons. What do I mean by that? In part 5, we have links which we clicked on, but the URL did not change because we used prevent default. This, in many cases, is okay, but when you click on the back button, there's no back button to click on, no forward button to click on. And this is very bad for search engine optimization. So how do we fix that? So it's fixing the forward and back buttons. As I mentioned, prevent default. Now, section 6 will not work when directly loading the file into a browser. Let me demonstrate. Oops, wrong one. Section 6. If I go to index.html and I click on inspect, this will show the developer tools, and if I click on apples, it says uncaught security error. That is because you cannot use the history API to fix which fixes the back and forward buttons in a static, a non-served file. So how do we fix that? Let's get back to here. So we need to serve the web page, and I've included a simple web server in this project. So let's open up the terminal. Let's go to web server. So I was in section 8. Let's go to section 6. Web server. Nothing shows. It's okay. It's fine. But it's now serving that web page. And to look at that web page now, I need to go to localhost 8080 index.html, which will load by definition. Oops. Cached. Okay. So now we click on apples, it shows apples here. You click on pears, it shows pears there. Oranges shows oranges here. You still have an error message which has to do with the favicon, but that's fine if I reload it. Oranges, not there because there is no such link in the server. Alright. Anyway, let's go click on the back button. Apples first, pears, oranges. Back and forward now works. Okay, so that's how we fix. That's a demonstration of how we fix the forward and back buttons. How does it work? We have the navigation handler. We need to change it. There's a new baseline function which I introduced, and by the way, I refactored it. So navigation now looks a lot cleaner. Prevent default is still there, but I have this new line called history push state base name. That's a new function which I created. We'll look at it in a while. And render page. All right. So let's look at base name. All that base name does is it takes a path, splits it according to the forward slash, reverse it, and takes the first element of the reverse list, which means it takes the last element actually of the original list. So that's the base name. I have a history push state call which pushes the last element. Why is it the last element? Because here we got localhost oranges slash oranges. So I just want oranges. I don't want the localhost. So for this thing, apples is saved. And what render page does is I encapsulated all of this into a function. It's just good practice, makes it more readable. So as usual, we get the fruit section. We clear out the fruit section HTML. And if the link exists, if the link does not exist on line 29, clear out the content, only append the empty header and return. But if the link does exist after this return, Set the header to the link text context and append both the header and lorem ipsum as before. Now, pop state is a special event, just like click, that's generated by the browser whenever a user pushes the back button or forward button. So when the window receives a pop state event, what we do is we create a new constant with the query selector having a href that matches the EV state. What is the EV state? The EV state is the stuff which we pushed before. So what do we push? Let's look at it. We push the base name of the link. So EV state in this case would be apples. So find the link with href apples and then render that page again. So we're actually recalling that link, finding the content and rendering that page again. And that's how we fix the forward and back buttons. But more importantly, it's good for search engine optimization, and it's ideal for a single page application. The server just serves a single page, that's HTML, index HTML. The oranges URL is fictitious, it doesn't exist. But we told the history API that it did exist, and that's why it pretends that there is such a page. It's actually a virtual page. Thank you for listening.